Alright. So I don't exactly have anyone in here just yet, but it don't really matter. I mean, I'm just setting up still. Here we go. Good enough for me. Just need to be able to queue open that at the same time while I have that open. That's all. Anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit about like video game communities, like over Discord and stuff like that, and how they either fail or they're successful or whatever happens in between. Now, the obvious thing would be here is that, yeah, where should I even start? Because it is a fucking mess of things that go wrong in every single Discord that I've seen thus far. Like, you have all these fucking Restream owners, right? Like, all these big video game, like, I'd say maybe a big Discord that runs video game little tournaments or whatever. But they're all run like the fucking mafia. And they don't get paid for it. They don't get paid through YouTube, and they don't get paid through Twitch. Because they don't get any fucking Twitch subs. Maybe they do, but even then, if they don't get any, they're still doing it for over a year. They're not making any fucking money. So I'm looking at that, I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, you can make an exceptional amount of money through anything if you push it the correct way, but you also have to, before you even try to build a community, is just get the general consensus that A, you feel comfortable, B, if you do favoritism, you're already fucked. Because if you follow that sentimentality, everything goes to shit. Look at Home Depot. They're the fucking the dick. I'm not gonna call them dick riders. No, they are the top quality of favoritism. They follow everything to the letter. They will literally give their own, department heads rewards back and forth to give themselves free money. That's how corrupt that is. But in a similar situation to online, if you're going to be doing shit like that between maybe a couple people, and one of the people be extremely offensive, and I mean, this one individual you protect goes all out, you're fucked down the road. It happens. I'm not going to work for anyone like that. I'm not going to volunteer for anyone like that. I wouldn't even put my 5 cents into that person's pocket to even, remotely give them a chance to explain themselves. Because it's like, how do you want to run a community? How do you want to run your friends? And how do you want to run your volunteers? And that's a huge, huge struggle point. And a lot of these people become so fucking hardened that they immediately think that you're trying to overthrow them when you fucking question them. Or you're fucking slamming them over social media. And it's so childish. It's like, there's people in their 30s. I'm going on 30. I'm going on 28 next month. Like, there's people going on to their 50s and 60s that still love video games. And then you just have fuck all. Most of them don't even use, Twitter. Most of them don't know what the fuck Instagram is because they look at it like it's for a bunch of kids that take selfies, because that's all it really is, let's be honest. But it's almost basically Snapchat. Let's think of it like that. But the whole commentary in Restream, that whole shtick is it's something you do when you're absolutely fucking bored. And most of the time on a Tuesday night, yeah, I've been pretty damn bored. I don't work Sunday. I don't work Tuesdays. I always work Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sounds like a weird schedule, but typically over the years, that's the kind of one I followed until probably, I'm going to say October of last year. I kind of changed it up a little bit, but that don't matter. But again, it's a bunch of fucking nonsense to have to sit here and you listen to people run their fucking mouths, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then you have people that are offering them donations of like upward to $1,000, $2,000, just because they're struggling with this coronavirus. Fucking wake up call, dude. Everyone's struggling with it. No one fucking person in particular. Everyone is screwed. No one has it made. So, why the hell should that be something that's fair to any of the other volunteers you run? It would be like saying, I need to make up a scenario here. Give me a second. I can't think of a good scenario at the minute for that. But it should be quite obvious that isn't something that would be fair at all, because you have all these volunteers working for you that aren't even getting paid to begin with, and then you're offering one selected person who's just happened to be staff out of one or two other people, free money. That's like a huge middle finger, fuck you. And you utilize a gaming community, and the money's going towards somebody who doesn't even play video games. It's fuck all. I mean, really. Why would... if anyone watching this is listening and is deciding, hey, should I join a restream group like, speed gaming, which I'm okay with speed gaming. I haven't ever had a problem with the owners or the staff there. I think I had like one issue where I had to ask the owner of speed gaming if everything was okay if I did this, and I got pre-approval to do what I was going to do. That was about it. So the bottom line on that one is, if you're thinking of doing commentary for these kind of communities, stop and question what kind of social circle is actually... Okay, what kind of circle jerk is basically going on in the background? What is going on that you don't see visibly on a public server that you can try to guess? And is it worth your time trying to be included in that favoritism? And do you even want to bother? Is there value in it? And for me, for a while, I didn't really give two shits with speed gaming, so I just was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do work for Feasel. Feasel's the owner. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I'll do whatever. Because Frico kind of was like, hey, do you want to do this? It'll kill some of your boredom. Maybe you'll find something funny to do. And I'm like, sure, why not? Because what else am I going to do? So, down the line, there was, at some point, and this is why this podcast is going on, there was heavily suggested a huge drama-filled dispute between the organizer for Zelda 2 Randomizer and... I don't know. It was between him and Speed Gaming, because that's what we originally hosted on, to the point where within a day, no notice, no opinion poll, no asking around, just suddenly switched. And since then, no one has felt fucking comfortable. I don't even... How do you go to that? And it's a small community, too. Small community. It's no bigger than my Discord. No bigger than the amount of contact, or how many people I have speed dial on my phone. It's like, how? And mind you, I am a loner. I don't bother with people. I have several trusted friends on my phone, and that's all I really need. But when you stop and you think about these restream groups and these video game communities, it's like, how do you go from being normal, a normal person, I'm not saying this as somebody who's going around on Discord, I'm saying, how do you go from being normal to going into, say, the Link to the Past randomizer community and just seeing a not even, I'm not going to say shit show, because I mean, that's what it is, but it's... There's so many fucked up things wrong with that. Like, you have the top speedrunner for Link to the Past, the vanilla game, Alpha, or WQ. He's pretty much, like, he's a nice guy, but he's rejected throughout the Link to the Past randomizer community and speed gaming and all these people. And you stop and you think about it, and it's like, what? It's like, dude, he's the top guy. Why is he not involved? You would think that somebody who's the best at something would be involved with something. It's like saying, how about Shigeru Miyamoto? It's like, okay, how about, I mean, obviously you wouldn't expect him to beat somebody in a speed run of Zelda, but, like, it's like if you were told to create a Zelda game better than him, and it's like, do you expect to be able to do it? I don't know. But it's a really specific skill. So for a person to have that level of skill, they should be a part of that community. And you'd think that, but that's not the case with Discord communities. It's so stupid. I mean, yeah, going above and beyond and just saying something completely outright fucked up. And when I say fucked up, I mean these people in private will say whatever, sometimes jokingly. I've said shit jokingly that is fucking disturbing. I'll say that. It happens. People do shit all the time online. They don't care. Go on Twitter. You need to be not surprised by something. Just, I don't know, I guess look up Boogie or something on fucking YouTube. I mean, or how about Reverend Burns? Or anything. I mean, those are some old fucking YouTubers, but, like, I'm just throwing them as examples. I'm not throwing them down the shitter or saying that they're horrible, but, like, controversy behind them. Yeah. So, like, what do you do? How do you take just a bunch of people who want to play the actual game that don't want to be involved with that and tell them, hey, do you really feel comfortable continuing the race with this host? And for a lot of them, they want nothing to do with that. But at the same time, because of that, no new racers want to come along. You've driven everyone away. So essentially you have no community, no fresh community coming in. It's basically like putting up a fucking dam in a river and saying, no, I don't want you guys, fuck off. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. But let me ping someone to get in here. Because I was supposed to really announce that I was going to do something today. I didn't do anything. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want, and that's it. Oh, well. I will say this much. Hey, Warfare. I got me a Coke. He told me the other night, completely off the topic of the podcast, that I would die in 24 hours after drinking a Pepsi Lime if I didn't drink a Coke. Bottoms up. And this is a thin bottle too, by the way. It's one of them glass plastic knockoffs, like the thin ones, but yeah. I don't know how I managed to find one of them in a convenience store, but whatever. Kind of just walked into a random one, was like, hey, else here? Lol, no. Hey Aaron, what's up? Yeah, I'm just talking about video game communities and how they're broken. I mean, a lot of them are pretty screwed. And it's mostly the favoritism. That's the fucking sad part. It's not even about the people or anything behind it. It's just like, if you're involved, great. But if you're not, like, brown-nosing, goodbye. It's just like, you're not even getting paid to do any of this. You're just there to build a community and make pals and play video games. So what's the big fucking deal? It's fucking laughable. And these people write a bunch of code and they're so fucking smart, but socially they're inept. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. It's a load of bullshit. Aaron, I thought you were in my Discord server. I don't know why. I thought you were. I do have two. One's an old one, though, but I ditched it and I made a community server instead. That old one's just like a staff and friend server at that point. It's whatever, though. But there's people that have, known me for upward to 12 years online. 13 years. I think Zelda Wolfang has known me for 13 years. And, yeah. The dude's been, I don't want to really get into that, but we've been pals for the longest possible time that I could think of. And to reflect that on how these communities are okay with grabbing random people and seeing how they'll do and then fucking flipping out on them in private to one another is fucking ridiculous. Like, I can tell you right now, on the network that I was working for, I'm not going to specify their names or drama them at all, the night before, Snip, calm down, that's messed up. But the night before, Snip, you're on vacation, go away. Go away. You're on vacation, you're in the boonies, go away. But the night before Tuesday, before I said fuck all this shit, I had noticed, because I was watching another runner I was, pals with. He's in our Discord server, and I was just looking at him. I was like, hey, why isn't the race starting yet? The race was delayed 10 whole minutes because one of their new restreamers wasn't trained on how to get to the host's computer, and he was brand new. You would think if they were brand new, you'd be walking them through the process of how the fuck to do it. That's fucking ridiculous. How much, you want to sit there and say, oh, you're ripping apart my community. But then I can sit there and say, well, what the fuck are you doing for your community? If it's yours, what are you doing for it? Because so far, I'm not trying to overthrow it. I'm just wanting to host a whole new set of restream games. One of them may include this game. Maybe I want to launch a tournament for this. Something I want to do as an individual. I can do it. I can invest my time trying to build a community, trying to get people to come in, common interests. I mean, I am looking at 2 games currently. Possibly 3. The third one was going to be Z2R if I could get it to go, but again, I'm not going to go to that level of fucking detail. But I will say that this owner was so fucking incompetent. I didn't expect this to come from them, and I felt personally disgusted that they wouldn't even fucking own up to anything and bullshit themselves. I'm not going to sit there and listen to someone bullshit themselves, essentially. Like, you want to hear an example of bullshit? Apollo Legends' main source for King of Khan was a document that came from Catherine Despira, a.k.a. Catherine Tess. And I looked at that document, and I at first thought it was complete bullshit for the longest time. And then here to find out that Catherine had basically broken into Billy Mitchell's fucking email account to get that. Nobody knows that. How did it fucking come to that? So basically, the information on Apollo Legends' one video is privacy invasion and hacked. We don't have 100% proof that it is, but so far we have word of mouth privately from Billy going around. And I've known this for a while, I just haven't really given a shit about it. Because again, not giving a shit, like I am right now, about all these small little things is what makes a community owner. What makes me actually want to give a shit. Because if I gave a crap about every little piece of drama and every little thing, I would never make anything happen in a day. I wouldn't be 10 minutes fucking late running a stream. I wouldn't throw a temper tantrum. You know, I'd be fucking busy doing my thing that I was enjoying. So, how do you get to that fucking level? To believe yourself and your friends lying and stick up for them, and then have all this evidence get caught with your fucking pants down, and then when you know you're caught, fuck yourself over even more. Okay. I know someone moved me in my Discord channel. I'm pretty sure it was Warfare. Yep. Hey, Warfare. I got a Coke. So, as a joke to my own self, and kind of a running gag, I gave my moderators the ability to move me in the voice channel, so I'll hear a ping. Probably one you all heard. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I get moved around, and then that's when I know Warfare is on, because he likes to move me around as a joke. So that's kind of the running gag I like having going on. But, again, like, circumstances like that would get these fucking people iffy. Fun little, you know, behind-the-scenes working volunteer shenanigans would immediately say, well, fuck you, you're banned. Too much favoritism. That's really all it comes down to, is when you're stuck in the middle between all that bullshit, you don't want to be the one to fucking have to listen to it. So after several months, not even 10 months, after 10 months of this shitlord, you know, running it, I at first gave him a chance. Then he backpedaled to our organizer. Our organizer came to me and said, oh, these people are all complaining about you. And then I asked, you know, the same hosts, restreamers, and they said they had no problem with me. The commentary, the co-com that I did with, had no problem with me. The racers, when I talked to them after the race, had no problem with me. So what did it come down to? Favoritism. Just if you're not liked, or if you have, you know, a certain eccentric to you, if you sound more eccentric than a certain individual, maybe they'll think, well, fuck that guy, I don't want him. And I guess that's how they viewed me. It's really all there is. But I do know Frico has a history with the same people, because he's the one who invited me in, and has given me more than his 2 cents. This host said that he'd spoken to everybody. Now, so far, no one has come to me about anything with this host complaining. Snip, that's gross. I have to hide that. But, how do I put this in perspective? Just after a while dealing with that guy, I just couldn't fucking do it anymore. I kept going to the organizer, who was in somewhat complete disagreement with what the fuck was going on, and he even wanted to go back to our old hosts. It even suggested it to me. I looked at that and I was like, well, why don't you? Because they're obviously, number one, they're bigger than the host we have now. You moved to a smaller host. And it's Zelda 2. It's the black sheep of all the Zelda games. So you're moving to a smaller community to bring people in? I didn't get that. What Zelda 2 needed, and this is what I personally think it needed, just between public. I'm not going to go into what I think it needs privately, because it needs a lot more than what I'm going to say right now. It needs not a large community, not a small community, a new, fresh up-and-coming community in the middle to eventually go back to a large community if it grows. It doesn't need to be in some toxic little shitlord's fucking pocket. so to speak. Like, I wouldn't give a whole game community to some fucking, to someone like that. I wouldn't do that. Snipman, I didn't know this was a Pansia Squeaky Clean SJW podcast. It's not a Squeaky Clean SJW podcast. I'm just saying that's a little gross, Snip. That is kind of gross. But another thing they didn't like, and this really put me off with that old host. The second host that we transferred to. They didn't like us doing any sort of commentary with chat. They didn't like us interacting with chat at all, which is fucking basic. It was frowned upon. We were told, don't do it. Because A, we don't have chat on the restream, and B, there's no point. And I looked at that, I'm like, well, what if a chat member who comes in watching has a question and wants to join the randomizer crew? It wants to join the races. What do? I just sit there quietly, not say anything, ignore them, and just be a piece of shit? What do you do? I'm going to raise my hands because I don't know what the fuck to do. What would you do in that situation? I would sit there, turn around and say, fuck you. Bounce sand. You don't know what you're doing. It's kind of what that comes down to. It really fucking does. Because no matter what way you look at it, and I'm not sitting here live by myself kind of trying to justify any of that shit, but it's like, I'm not justifying myself. I'm trying to get them to justify themselves for all that bullshit. Because it doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. From a business standpoint, from a game community standpoint, from a friend standpoint, and from a gamer standpoint. I have no fucking clue. Baffled beyond fucking words. And yes, I am cursing a lot. Yeah, it is something messed up. I shouldn't be cursing so-and-so this much. I should be cursing a lot less. But cursing isn't the reason that I left that. Because cursing was allowed, I believe it or not. Which I at first thought was like, what? At our old host, we were not allowed to curse. I was okay with that. I was actually, for the whole year, I basically didn't curse on stream. I think at one point I almost slipped one, but like I stopped mid-sentence and I cut myself off. I'm like, oh, I almost said that. And sometimes we would, midstream just have a regular chat or conversation off topic because it generates conversation with chat. So if I sit here and say, how is everyone holding up with the coronavirus, or how has everyone's day been at work, or does anyone have any car problems this week? Or if I ask just, basic everyday questions like that to the chat. If I do that in my own chat right now at Snip, or anyone who's here, I could just get a response. I could drum up a conversation to talk about. I don't even need to talk about what this topic is talking about, which is, the video game communities and how they're not going to ever fucking work. And how they fuck up. I'm going to ping Freako. Snipman, gosh, cursing should always be allowed. People need to stop being mass pussies. Or massive pussies, sorry. For TV standpoint, or if you're trying to take a clip or anything, and you're trying to show it to another big group or individuals, it's probably best that you keep it censored like TV. Keep it controversial, censored, so people want to watch it, because then they'll laugh at the censors. That's just how human beings are. We take curiosity at the censor bar and we try to figure out what it actually is, but like once you desensitize yourself to something so many times and curse and say fuck this, fuck that, you eventually look back and you're like, wow, this is kind of boring. kind of boring and lame. Like, even me cursing this much on stream, I feel lame about it. But, like, because I've come from Jersey, I've lived in Jersey, I curse every fucking sentence. Instinctively. TV and radio is pussy. Can't stand them. I know, Snip. Why did I didn't hide that. View. I didn't delete that. That's whatever, though. Huh. Well, whatever. I might change up my topic here in a little bit because I've already talked about it for what? I don't know, an hour? Let me see here. It's probably along the lines of 30 minutes. And I'm not even getting into a multi-hour rant or a 2-hour rant. This isn't even a rant. This is just, explaining why shit would never fucking work in those situations. If you're gonna try to be this much of a douchebag, as an owner that runs something like that, and you sit down, I'm gonna eat some gummy bears while I talk this out. If you're gonna sit there and be this massive, huge douche to people who are volunteering to help you out for namesake, then what are you doing? Like, people don't want to... Like, I'm twice the size of this whole network by me alone. Like, I'm too big for this shit. So I choose to be friendly and help out. And the thanks I get in return is, well, fuck you. So I've learned, as quote-unquote a bigger YouTuber, not to even bother with other fucking people. Because why am I going to bother with some fucking small doohickey network that gets by on a fucking dime? That gets by leeching off another network that shouldn't even fucking exist to begin with. No, it's bullshit. Hey Snip, why don't you join the podcast, huh? You're not on vacation, right? Or are you actually on vacation? Yep. Let me go back to the favoritism topic. And this is what makes it hard. I already kind of covered this a little bit, in my opinion. You can't go protecting every single fucking person under the sun, no matter how fucked up and the stupid things they do. Eventually you gotta cut someone. I mean, like, cut them loose. So, like, I can't tell you how many people I've cut. Even personally out of my life, I have cut, like, several dozen friends. Just because they're fucking obnoxious or do something stupid. One such friend stole a car. Knew him for 6 years, decided to steal a car. Stole a car and then apparently did meth in it and drove off into the woods and killed himself the following year. Go figure. But when you have people that are that fucked up and people that want to run their fucking lives and try to be, basically, I'm going to put it in layman's terms, top dildo. People that want to be like that don't succeed. They don't. Like, you have to be fucking respectful to everyone that wants to help you, even if they're fucking douchebags. Even if they're arrogant, you can't be petty. You can't be petty, you have to be the bigger person. Even if the person is absolutely fucking annoying and absolutely fucking right. And if they are right, it's probably best that you don't be petty. Because it backfires pretty quickly. Especially if they're a popular person. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm popular enough where, I don't really even announce a podcast. And a couple people show up. And I haven't even been doing it for 30 minutes. Don't even have some of the things I was going to do. Snipman said, would you like to taste some suntan lotion? I think it would be funny if you tasted some suntan lotion. No, that's gross. What? That sounds like a dream. Aaron, it does sound like a dream. It fucking does. I mean, living in Jersey, there's some stupid shit. I don't know if you've seen the last podcast all the way through, but I've seen some shit. The fucking local convenience store up the street from me, they have a sign that says you must wear masks to enter. The dude's pulling out a shotgun for anyone walking in without a mask. Because he's got family living in the store. They have a little bunk bed in the back room they sleep in. It's pretty, that's nothing. And I walked in there with him holding it. I was just like, whatever. I'm just here for a bottle of soda. I bought this bottle of soda. That's it. Just this bottle. Well, I also bought Baja Blast. But, the best one. But, again, like, you run into these fucking crazy people here the most. Jersey is, out of any fucking state I've ever seen, any experience I've heard from any other person besides New York. New York comes close. Do you consider New Jersey to be the worst one to live in? Yes. And I was raised here. I was born and raised here, unfortunately. I would have liked it if I had been raised in something like Wisconsin or maybe Minnesota. I don't know. Not Texas. Maybe Texas for some of their foods, but like, I don't know what state I'd actually like to have been born in, really. But, like, out of all of them, New Jersey is one of the... it's like Snips, it's a Jersey thing. But, like, New Jersey is, like, one of the most racist states I've ever fucking seen in my life. It is. And it's really, really screwed up. Before I moved out of my hometown, and then came back and got an apartment here, somewhere in my hometown, but like, anyway. Our neighbor, we had two neighbors. On our one side, we had, like, an Asian family. Like, 12 people living in there. Pretty big house. We liked the people. We helped them do their lawn and stuff. And then the other neighbor we have right next to us, he has a basketball court behind his house. And that basketball court's still there. It's a black neighbor. Black family. I go to high school with their kids when they get older. As I, matured, I went to school with them as I was going. But those two always got the fucking short end of the stick. They got the shit kicked out of them in the bus for the color of their skin. And were called every racist word in the book when they were like 8. And I would sit on the bus as a 9-year-old going, what the fuck? Before cell phones, before anything, and it was still the 90s. And I was just like, what the fuck? These kids were saying things that, my parents told me not to say this curse word and we're going to say it. And I'm like, alright, what the fuck? And then when high school rolled around, they were still racist. But it's because, I'm raised in this state that it's fucking normal. It's kind of like I told some other fucking people over Discord, like, you have these Indian shops and people they're screwed up and they're calling them dot shops. For, bindi. It's screwed up. Snipman, list all the racist... No, I'm not doing that. Snipman, I'm not doing that, obviously. Also, speaking of Jersey, did you know it was the second most confirmed COVID after New York? It was the second most after New York because all the airports, people are coming in to New York internationally. And then the reason why we're the second is because they traveled south to Jersey Shore to go out on the beach. And that's what happened. People were going to come down here, travel, stay for a few months, and then head out to the beach come, early spring, so basically March, April. But that ended up spreading it more. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people walk into that convenience store. I've been there twice today. I've been to that convenience store twice. Once to get that this gummy bear pack right here, and the other to get soda. And I walked in there, and both times we had... the first time I saw an angry black guy screaming, and he didn't have a mask on. He was cursing out the owner, and he got kicked out over a fucking mask. And then the next time I went in there, I saw this crazy bimbo walk in. She had long purple hair, and she was wearing all black. Looked crazy, skitzing out, leaning over me and shit. I'm just like, as I'm just like quick getting a bottle of soda from like the very back, and I'm just like, you walked around the whole store, and she's leaning, she's like, like as if she was trying to flirt with me. I'm like, ew, cut it the fuck out. And she didn't have a mask on, and I looked at the owner. I'm like, before she hopped, skipped, and jumped to the front door, she kind of did like this weird skipping dance to the door and left. I looked over to the owner because I'm kind of buddy-buddy with him. I'm like, dude, what the fuck was that? And he just starts fucking laughing. He just couldn't fucking stop. And he was wearing a mask. I was wearing a mask. And we're just like, what the hell? But that's nothing. Snip, you lied. You're on vacation. Snip, are you still on vacation? Are you lying to me? Because if you play Mario Party 4, I'm going to have to, like, jump you IRL. I'm going to come to your house and... well, I'm going to smack everything out of you. Yeah, it's also funny. Speaking of completely irrelevant topics right now, just off the topic, off the walls, this Maxime kid that was in my Discord server, in general, reminded me of the Runkachunk meme. And while I was looking it up, just looking up Runkachunk, just out of curiosity if there was anything new about it, someone ripped my fucking video from 10 years ago. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck? You just got home today, Snip. You know what, Snip? I'm gonna have to pass on that till tomorrow, because unfortunately I have shit to do Monday. Well, Sunday night. As in Sunday night, I was gonna invite these people on stream, as in have more than one person in here. I have re-befriended my old childhood friends, 2 of them, and these guys play Smash. It is Revac and Hunter, and they are fucking phenomenal. Funny you mentioned Mario Party 4. I can't believe so many years have passed since the release of that game. But the odd thing is, Aaron, out of every video game community that I've come across that has some tilts, a little bit of salt, RNG, all the works, that any other game would, that has the most stable community. And it's fucking large. That NetPlay server has 15,000 people in it. And I think of that, and I'm like, how? And I realize something. The people running it aren't fucking douchebags. They got a fucking leaderboard, too. That's, that's run well. That's the sort of thing that I could run. And I don't even need to be doing these podcasts. These podcasts are like a thing that I do for like an hour or two every week to fill that boring little fucking Sunday or Tuesday void that I have. Because I don't feel like sitting around and drinking a beer and boring myself to death. Or sitting here eating gummy bears and blowing my head off. Now, I mean, I could play a game while I do this, but I don't want to do that. I mean, I could sit here and play Mario Party 4, but do I want to go to that level? Do I want to go to that length and play Mario Party 4 while sitting here and talking about video game communities and expecting Freako to just magically pop up to where I say, hey, must be the one. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I want to do that. Yeah, it's a Snip said. It's a very nice community. But then you look at these other communities that you think would be small, nice, friendly, open. They're not. They're fucking not. They're policed. They're policed. I would go as far as to say Germany, Nazi Germany. That police. You can't talk to somebody to ask them, hey, do you want to play a game or a round off this site? Do you want to be friends and join my Discord? You can't even do that with these companies. These guys, they act like they're a fucking official company, that they make the big fucking money, that they're bigger than anything that you could possibly fucking think of, which is so far from the fucking truth that it's sad. If I had to be hyper realistic here, these communities don't have no more than anything. They don't get anything from subs on Twitch. You get maybe a couple dollars a person. Takes 100 people to want to sub, and nobody wants to. That's a common theme too. Nobody wants to sub on Twitch. Whoa, Snip, that's far. Well, enjoy your game. If Freako don't get in here, I'm going to smack myself. But, on a side note, he's probably sleeping or working. I don't know. DM Stewart has also had his fair share of issues, especially with the link to the pass randomizer community. It's just toxic. But the reason it's toxic is it's because it's been so fragmented from being so large that two different groups, not even two different, I'm going to say multiple, have been ripping at this fucking community for so long that they don't know up from down. And the sad part is you can't differentiate who are the fucked up offensive ones that need to go from compared to who's actually just there to run the game and have fun. You can't figure it out. It shouldn't come down to that. No, it shouldn't. You know what's equally sad? That the restream videos that get uploaded to YouTube, that most of the time the commentary that we've had for Z2 has resulted in only one comm for the last several months. There has only been 6 times where there's been 2 comms that I could recall out of several months. Can't think of anything else to say at this moment, but I like your shirt, Maris. Sorry if I'm a bit socially awkward this time around. I'm not socially awkward. I don't think you are either. I'm just saying the basics to what anyone else is fucking thinking. Like, why would someone open up or host a fucking restream group network playing video games and then sit there, police it, and then say, fuck the volunteers, let me have one of my staff members shit talk, run their mouths with no communication, and then give them $2,300? It's like, okay. It's not like anyone else is having a financial issue. I could think of probably a couple people in that server alone that are suffering, and I've still chose to do commentary for him, for this individual owner. And I look at that and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what's your major, I don't want to say make fun of anything particular.
Barbecue sauce on my titties, yeah!
God damn it, Snip. Okay, I apologize. That was either Snipman or that was was that you? What the fuck? I don't know. What was that? Who? I think that was BDX that just did that. I didn't expect that. I swear to God, I don't know if it was either PDX or Snip now. Snip, was that you? Be honest here. And I oop. Oh. You gotta be careful here. I'm gonna become a gummy bear at this point. I am looking at a bunch of shit right now, though. Who else? I thought it was BDX because he just messaged me out of the blue. It freaked me out because the both of you screaming incoherently just randomly just sound alike, and I was just like, what the hell? But you can't do that sort of thing at other restream groups. In fact, if you did that, they would immediately ban you without a second thought. Even if you're joking. Even if you went in and were respectful, you didn't say anything offensive, but you popped in and you just said something funny and left. Or, muted your mic, went in for the lulz, and left. I've accidentally done that. Went in with the mic muted, pre-setup, into a setup that I was waiting for, and got yelled at. Didn't bother anyone. And while they were in setup and not live, I apologized that I accidentally came in the channel. Still got in trouble. Mouse malfunction, shit happens. I mean, they can't expect you to basically have everything in special snowflake form ready for them. I don't know. You really can't trust these people. You really can't. But I think my next podcast, because I might just cut it here. It's only been about an hour. I don't want to rant about these fucking people for more than an hour, because they're not worth my time. Not worth the time of day, to where now I know that I'm not going to be volunteering for particularly anybody unless someone that I know personally, that I trust, that has half a fucking brain, that I'll restream or do commentary or track for. You know, I'll volunteer my time for, but I'm not gonna do it for these fucking small time 2K fucking sub pieces of dog shit that want to accuse me of fucking breaking the rules or damaging their fucking reputation or, you know, trying to split them up or overthrow. That's kiddie shit, man. I'm fucking going on 28. I got better shit I could fucking do with my volunteer time that I volunteer a couple hours a fucking night to help out. Like, I could go off and I could go take up fucking stocks or go to a bar, go to a sports bar and put down fucking bets and do sports betting. I don't have to waste my fucking time doing anything for basically a fucking piece of garbage at that point. But yeah. I mean, that's how I fucking feel about that whole fucking scenario. And whoever says otherwise can really just eat shit, because it's justified what the fuck I've said. I didn't break any fucking rules. None that are listed. I didn't purposely get under anyone's skin. In fact, the comms, the tracker, the racers, and the viewers all loved it. So what's the problem? The favoritism? I'm just not going to get into it. I think, for any of you who are watching this, and I guess Frico, if he misses this, take the time and assess, is something worth giving a shit for? If it's not worth giving a shit for, and this is coming from somebody who barely uploads or streams, and has 4K subs, and I could do better than that. I could do better than that in my fucking sleep. I mean, really, I've been inactive as hell. I could have a podcast of me just sleeping. Me just sleeping for 20 hours. And I bet you, if I did that for a week, I call it the Mayor's Sleep Show, I could probably have another couple thousand subs with some shenanigans going on, maybe throw a kitten on the bed. That's how fucking stupid YouTube has come to. But at the same time, if I'm not trying, and you guys aren't thinking of doing whatever it was I was doing, stop and question whether or not it's fucking worth it to join a community and volunteer your time, and do you exactly trust the person fucking running it wholeheartedly and think they're not bullshit? Because if they're not bullshit, they gotta go. You gotta get them out. Or do something else. Even if that game that you're playing happens to be your favorite one, you tell those people, pound fucking sand. This is the game I like. I like the game that's created. I don't like you. Pound fucking sand. But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to cover. Because I could rant here for too many fucking hours that I can't count. I could go on and on and on for up to 2 or 3 hours about this shit. And there'd be no justifying it. But I am recreating a restream group from scratch. I have selected my own game list. It's kind of pre-selected, and I'm working with some of those communities and everything that I've seen around. And I'm trying to build that level of friendly behavior that I've seen near everywhere else, where everything's lenient. I don't know about my policy on cursing yet. So far, it's leaning towards cursing allowed it. But in the future, down the line, it might switch to no cursing. Just because, again, you know, Mario Party isn't exactly an 18-plus thing. But, yeah. Oh. Hey, Sniper, what's up?
Nothing. I just got my ass beat in Mario Kart.
Oh. Well, I'm live on my podcast right now.
Yes. Yeah, I saw.
No. Well, how about this? Before I even end this, what do you think of the Mario Party community? Like the person running it, the network server.
The network server, they're good. I haven't checked out much of them, but they do their job right.
What do you think?
Oh, hello.
The Mario Party. Snipman, I can hear myself, please.
What?
I can hear myself, please.
Well, I know I already paused it, sorry.
Oh. Well, as I was just saying that you probably heard, what do you think makes for a good restream or group leader that would run things correctly, or a tournament host? The same qualities you feel over there, right? Over at the network server?
For sure.
So, like, would you agree with cursing on the stream or, like, anything like that? Sniper?
Whenever it's necessary.
I mean...
Or whenever it feels necessary to say it.
Oh, like, for an example, when I had 4 stars that one game, and then suddenly y'all fucking rolled me into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. Yeah, I mean, I like these podcasts too, Aaron. I mean, it lets me fucking get shit off my fucking chest that I see on a daily basis, but, like, Yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from. It's only a couple people. I didn't really advertise this much. I mean, like, I went on Twitter and within 20 minutes of doing it, I just announced that I was doing it. I didn't, like, leave a whole 1 day or 2 day thing ahead of time. I fucking went on my own server and said, yeah, I'm starting in 20 minutes. 20 minutes early, bye.
Yeah.
Like, I wing shit. Just because most of the time I want to get it out of the way, or I don't know if the person I'm doing the podcast with is available or they're going to show up.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with someone not showing up. Shit happens.
Wait, did no one show up?
Frico was supposed to show up, but he told me beforehand that he wasn't making any promises because he may be busy. So that's what ended up happening. He was supposed to be here. He was actually more than eccentric to join and run his mouth like crazy, and I would have allowed it. Y'all would have fucking loved it. Another Jersey man that's basically twice my fucking age, twice my knowledge, and has zero bullshit. Zero tolerance for bullshit and all the tolerance for fun and laughs around. So basically, the other server. The network server. Which, again, the fucking server that policed the shit out of me, that gave me the idea to come to consensus to do this, is only fucking 100 people. No bigger than this fucking server.
Wait, the Netplay server?
No, not the NetPlay server. Another community I used to work for that I'm not going to be volunteering my help for anymore. Because they were fucking douchebags that publicly lied about me. So, I'm not going to tolerate that. I mean, how would you feel if the people in the NetPlay server, the owner, was like, oh, Sniper, you fucking cheated in your one game, you're a piece of shit.
Oh, I would just leave me.
Yeah, but what if you didn't cheat, you know?
Yeah, if I didn't cheat, then...
Would you say, like, I didn't cheat?
Yeah.
But
I would literally show them the cheats.
I think they would try to segregate you for it.
Yeah.
Or the community would segregate you in general, just because they would see you as a cheater in that scenario. But it's like, when you have a person or a leader willing to do that, or go to that fucking petty level, rather than privately handle it in private affairs and be like, hey, someone came to me and said you were cheating, and say that in private, rather go public, be like, yo, I think you're a fucking cheating piece of shit. What the hell, man? You're gonna follow our small list of rules? Again. Right there. That's not what you want to fucking do as a community leader. At all, on any Discord, any community group that you run. Doesn't even have to be over Discord.
Yeah.
Because it makes you look like a piece of shit. I can't stress that enough.
That actually defines a piece of shit. Regardless, like, if you're gonna go and, like, oh, hey, this guy is, like, I'm mad at him because I'm envious about him being so good, and you want to accuse him of cheating, then you're not, like, worth being a community leader.
You know, I've always been partially afraid to
Speak up.
well, not really speak up, because I've always done that without a fucking problem. The one thing I wanted to do for a while was get an Ocarina of Time speedrun record on speedrun.com, like the official site. And the reason I've been off-put to not get one is I don't want the top 10 or the top 1 spot because of the drama that might come with it. Like, if I get that spot, A, people are going to expect me to be bragging it and be prideful about it. Obviously, anybody be prideful about it and say it on the fly, but, like, I don't want people to get that wrong impression. And then, like, say there's another community that I'm in that someone runs that has like 1,000 people in it or so, and let's say that they're like, oh, you broke my record, fuck you. Do I expect that them to do that? You know, like, has gaming really come to that? To where the whole group gets segregated because somebody beat your fucking run, or because they don't agree with you suddenly because you're better? Or like what's the fucking overall appeal? Like with Mario Party, I don't think you have to worry about that. Because even though there's a leaderboard, who gives a shit? It's fucking Mario Party. Have fun.
Yeah.
That's the first choice of a game that I was like, oh, let me pick this. And that's why I was playing Kart Crew. Well, not Kart Crew, but Sonic Robo Blast 2. That game's fucking fun. Community's nice. No one's a dick. I could probably host a Sonic Robo Blast 2 kart tournament. Like a 2v2 race.
Yeah.
Or something along them lines that'd be more fucking entertaining than whatever the hell else is going on. Like, I don't want to just limit myself to one genre of game. Be it a fucking side-scroller, a party game, a race game, or whatever. I still love it. I got fucking accused of trying to overthrow everything. And then after that, I was accused of trash-talking them over Twitter before he even looked at Twitter. I'm just like, alright, suck my dick. I'm not dealing with your high school shit. Because I didn't shit-talk him or that network or anything over Twitter, so what are you doing? That was days ago. So I already released that DM censored. It made him look like fucking dog shit, so I don't need to do anything. He can live with his fuck up and the mistake that he is. But anyway, you guys are playing Mario Party 4 right now, right?
Not right now, actually.
What, did you just back out of it?
No, I think they're actually doing it more. I think they already found a full group.
Oh. Sad panda. I was thinking of joining, but I don't think tonight. Tonight's not the night. What?
Snackman's being called a pussy.
Snipman's being called a pussy in the channel?
Yeah. He's being called in the chat room right now by Victor Mixer.
In the chat room, or like
in the matchmaking?
Let me see here. Doesn't have the balls to bail. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
See, I love roasting people over a fucking party game because you can't take it serious. But at the same time, it's entertaining. So, any other game, you really can't do that. It's too fucking serious. I think out of all the time that I've done commentary, though, for Zelda 2, we only had one person cheat, and that was it. It was handled highly in private, so we never really heard shit about it. Except a couple runners mouthing off. But other than that, it was a good time, so I don't know. I feel at a loss. I don't know how a community can function like that, to insult their volunteers, restreamers, commentary, tracking through anybody, or allow any such thing, any such miscommunication, and then have their restream team, their official team, go, okay, we've had to cancel so many races that we can't count because we don't have enough volunteers, and then allow their staff, the few members of staff they have, to curse out the volunteers, not knowing what the fuck's going on to begin with, when they should have just shut their mouths because they didn't know what was going on. That's all I gotta say in my 2 cents. Those people are fucking irrelevant and ugly looking anyway. Probably on the inside are fucking hideous more than they do on the outside.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I'm gonna talk about on this stream. I guess thankfully I didn't have Frico, because if he was here, this stream would probably go on for an extra hour because he has a lot of fucking complaints. And I'm actually more surprised he hasn't gotten kicked out for running his mouth, because he saved their network's asses more times than they can count, he's probably saved it about as much time as I have. Because of how many canceled streams they were going to have where he just went in and did solo commentary even though he said, I'm not doing solo commentary. You're going to get me someone. And lo and behold, I was mainly his commentary partner. So when you fucking put off one commentary partner from wanting to do the commentary voluntarily, you fuck over the other one. And yourself. So what are you doing? You know, you volunteer, you're there to fucking help. So accept it. There's no fucking ulterior motive to it. Right?
Right.
It's a fucking video game. Calm your shit. It's not the Mafia. But yeah. I'm not going to get into specifics as who all that was directed to, but they are well aware of who they are, and I have respect for them as a programmer. But that's where it ends, because anyone can make a program. Anyone can build a website. I've built a website with a fucking notepad in a day, and I haven't updated it since. I've written ROM hacks. I've made programs. I've made a Discord community. I've edited videos. I've done every other thing on the fucking planet. I've built the room I'm sitting in. I built my own fucking computer. Big deal. Do I get a fucking medal? Do I get $23,000? Or no, I'm sorry, $2,300? Because coronavirus is around? Oh God, I'm volunteering with the coronavirus. I'm in a financial problem. Oh, no. No, I'm not asking and begging for fucking money. That really fucking gets me. That one right there, the fucking donation part. Like, you don't even have fucking... You're barely hitting quad digits on the follower count. Barely. And you're asking for over $1,000 for the coronavirus. Out of nowhere. Just mind fucking blown. I hope those people get their fucking money back. Unless they donate it voluntarily, not knowing. Or if it's all made up money. Who knows, maybe the amount is made up and they only got like $700. How the fuck do we know? But I'm going to end my podcast for the night and I'm going to head out somewhere.
Alright.
Thank you for coming in here, Sniper, for the last 20 minutes to hear me rant. You going to go play your Mario Party now?
I'm going to take a little break.
Did you just play around?
No, I didn't really play around, but I was doing Air Ride and Mario Kart.
Oh.
I managed to... Someone was able to be pissed off because we kept starting over on, like, the small maps. Because I kept getting stuck and someone, like, was like, oh, hey, I'm in last place. I'm gonna start over.
Do you have Sonic Roboblast 2?
Not yet. I am interested in it.
I would definitely download it. I have gameplay on my YouTube channel of it. It's fucking great. You can play as Pink Eggman.
Never thought I would save the day.
And Doom Guy. Doom Guy.
Doom Guy in a racing game?
Doom Guy in a Sonic racing game.
Sign me up.
I don't know. Here, I'll give you the server invite.
Alright.
And see? See, people? See, people? Right there. That's how easy it is to get people to want to play video games and be fucking happy. All I had to do was talk to them for a minute.
Yep.
Didn't even think that I was going to give them this fucking invite. That's how meta I am, okay? Where are you, Sniper? Sniper noob. There you go. It's a one-day invite. Just keep in mind they have Sonic Roboblast 2 cart and Sonic Roboblast.
And which one do you want me to get?
Get the cart one. The cart one's the best.
Alright.
here is I'll give you the direct link to the game. It's that.
Going in it.
Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Thanks
right.
for anyone watching the podcast. Thank you for tuning in, listening to my rant about how video game communities and gaming communities in general, how they all fail and fuck up. It's because the common reason, respect. It's really what it comes down to. And if you don't have that kind of character, stop doing what you're doing and fucking off yourself, I guess. Or just stop doing it. Because one of the two are going to happen. Let's face it.
Yeah, the better thing would be just drop any envy that you have on the person and just accept that they're better than you.
Yep. And I am better at this point.